Happy Friday, everybody. We made it to the end of the work week. We made it to the end of the month. It's the last day of the month. It's the 31st day of May, 2019. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Friday edition. And you know what that means? It's a five-star show. You know the rules by now. You know how we operate here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Megan and I are here early. We put everything together, try to cobble together a good show for you on Mondays. We fail almost all the time. Tuesdays, like Monday. Wednesdays, we pick up the game a little bit. We kind of lean forward. We kind of try a little harder on Wednesdays. Thursdays, we almost get it all together. And then Friday, just in time for the weekend, we put together a five-star show. Or double your television viewing pleasure back. Get ready for a heat wave, folks. It's pretty warm yesterday, 87. We're going to be in the lower 90s. And, well, we're not going to worry about any thunderstorms. We're done with that. We also know where all the haze is coming from. There's a pretty sizable wildfire up in Canada, up in the Alberta region, and that's bringing the smoke down here. Not that bad. It's not like it's going to be probably again this year. Remember how smoky we can get in July and August and September. So that's why we have just a little bit of haze, but no threats of thunderstorms. We're done with that. The high-pressure ridge going to build up in strength. Then it's going to flatten out, which is good because that means it's going to warm us up. It's going to be forecast details are coming up. Second half of the show, Jose Oglesby, the owner of the Wenatchee AppleSox, dropped by yesterday to talk AppleSox baseball, one of my favorite topics. The Fan Fest is tomorrow, so you get your first taste of AppleSox baseball before opening day, which is on Monday night, June 3rd. But you get to meet the new AppleSox for their 20th campaign, meet some of the new players, talk to the coaches, watch a free practice, eat some food, check it out, get yourself in the AppleSox mood as they get ready to play another season of baseball at Paul Thomas Senior Field. My conversation with Jose in the second half of the program, plus news, a lot of news. Sports, Mariners. We got to talk about it. They played anyway. You probably know how they did by now. We'll give you some of the details. We'll have the obscure holiday today in history, birthdays, and everyone is entitled to Mike Minardi's opinion. And, of course, weekend events with Megan McPherson. What's going on this weekend? Lots. We'll fill you in on that if you haven't made plans yet. Let's go around the valley at 3 minutes after the hour with our Valley View cameras. That, of course, is the Cross camera right at the tip of Wenatchee Heights. And that camera came in very handy yesterday afternoon. In fact, it's our top news story. Stay close for that. That camera was a godsend yesterday. It's a fantastic camera. It's 4K. That means it's 4 times the resolution of a normal high-definition camera. That or it costs $4,000. I haven't figured that out yet. It's one of the two. It's pulled back there a little bit, and that gives you an idea of the haze that we've been talking about. But not a cloud in the sky outside of the hazy conditions. And like I said, if you're not used to the heat, it's going to be a difficult weekend for you. If you love the heat, the sun and warmth, you're in for a great weekend. Camera 2, where are we off to, Megan? I don't know. She gets to decide, and I have to guess, and that's obviously Monument Hill. Am I correct? It looks really hazy out there in Quincy, doesn't it? That's kind of strange. It looks like the fires that are causing this smoke and this haze are a lot closer than Alberta, Canada, but that's just the way the atmosphere is. I mean, when you got high pressure, there's really no place for that stuff to go. It comes down, pays you a visit, and kind of sleeps on your couch and eats all the food out of your fridge. Good morning, Quincy. Opportunities unlimited out there. Camera number 3 is a shot of, I'm saying, the Waterville camera going back down towards the valley. Am I correct, Megan? I am 343. Antioch is on the right-hand corner of your screen there. Antioch celebrates their 75th anniversary coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm going to endeavor to get some of the good folks, the leaders of the great Antioch area, in on this program. They're having a big party. Going to go for a Guinness World Record, I'm told. The Antioch River flowing into the mighty Columbia and then right on down. I'm told now that the Columbia River eventually empties out in the Pacific. If my geography teacher was correct, and I'm pretty sure he was, because I've been to Astoria, and you can see it. Camera 4 is a slow dissolve to, is this Nanapoc? Wow, Nanapoc Ridge, kind of a different angle there. Look at the haze kind of hugging the ground there. Lots of beautiful greenery there. Still very green up in the Lake Wenatchee area. And by the way, watch out for the bicyclists. The big Apple Century bike ride is this weekend. They got about 600 of them who are going to be biking from the Pybus Public Market. And if they do the big route, the 100-miler, they're going to go all the way to the fire station at Lake Wenatchee, take a break, grab a bite to eat, and head right on back down to lovely Wenatchee. Beautiful view from the Lake Wenatchee area. I love it up there. But this is also skeeter time up there. Usually they're crawling with mosquitoes this time of the year. They do their best. They do some spraying and some eradicating, but the mosquitoes usually get the upper hand this time of year up at Lake Wenatchee. So pack the repellent if you're going camping. 6 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service. Here's your forecast, and if it looks a lot like it has been, only you'll notice those highs are a little bit warmer. Temperature is going to remain, well, I'm going to call it hot right through the weekend. We're going to be one of the hottest spots in the state. It's going to be between us and Moses Lake with 91, 91, and 92. Weak high pressure is actually beginning to enter into our area. It's actually going to be right over north central Washington, and then it's going to flatten out over the weekend, and that's why it's going to lead to warmer temperatures. And also the atmosphere is going to be much more stable, which is why they're not worried at all about thunderstorms. So there you can see very sunny, very warm. Things start cooling down on Monday. A dry cold front is going to start bumping into the area on Monday, and that's going to cool us down, make things a little breezy, but lots of sunshine. And hopefully this forecast will last all the way through Friday of next week, because of course Friday, the Wenatchee High School commencement exercises were held, as they always are, outdoors. Last year, it was kind of stormy, but the rain held off right until the very end of graduation. It was perfect timing, and then it started coming down pretty hard right as they finished getting their diplomas. Hopefully, we'll have a very pleasant evening 1 week from tonight. It'll leave off the field at the Apple Bowl. And that's a friendly reminder. Don't forget, we'll be covering all 4 local commencement exercises here on the NCW Life channel. We're going to do them live, and we're going to do them commercial-free. Eastmont High School's commencement exercises at the Town Toyota Center will commence at 6 o'clock on Friday the 7th, 1 week from today. We'll air the entire ceremony commercial-free. Thank you, sponsors. And then as soon as that's over, boom, our cameras are right off to leave off the field of the Apple Bowl for the Wenatchee High School commencement exercises at 8 o'clock. So we're going to be doing about, let me do the math. A lot. It's a lot of coverage. That's next Friday. And then on Thursday, the 13th of June, we'll be carrying Westside High School's graduation ceremonies from the Wenatchee Convention Center. Then we wrap up the commencement season on Friday the 14th with the Wenatchee Valley College commencement exercises from leave off the field at the Apple Bowl. All 4 of those will be commercial free. I love it when I can say that. It is 8 minutes after the hour. Before we take a break, thank you to our friends at Confluence Health for hopping on board and being a sponsor of this program. I love Confluence Health. They take care of me. I mean, they really do. Well, Confluence Health, they are dedicated to providing safe, high-quality care for everybody in North Central Washington. Confluence Health. The news is 1 minute away. Watch you Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley Friday edition on the NCW Life channel.
When the people you serve are your friends and family, you see the world a bit differently. You understand that your survival depends on the health and strength of your relationships. Your word is your reputation, and that doing the right thing is the only way of life that matters. At Confluence Health, we remain humble. Trust is a gift that is earned, a privilege, an honor. And we remain grateful for the trust you place in our hands.
Hi, I'm Jim Heinlein, agent here at Senior Insurances of North Central Washington, where we help our clients navigate the Medicare world. One of the things we really enjoy doing is teaching our clients about their rights. Like, did you know that if you have a traditional Medicare supplement, you can change that monthly all year long, regardless of prior health conditions? So if you'd like to know more about your options with Medicare, you can visit us at one of our 5 local offices, as well as give us a call at 888-2600.
61 degrees outside of our studios in downtown Wenatchee at 10 minutes after the hour on this Friday. Lower 90s today and Saturday and Sunday. Then we'll begin to cool down to more normal temperatures by Monday. Here's what's making headlines. This was the scene late yesterday afternoon as captured by our Wenatchee Heights camera. Emergency crews rescuing a person who was reportedly clinging to a rock alongside the Columbia River. This was about 1/4 of a mile south of the Senator George Seller Bridge. The rescue personnel were forced to drive past the area, cross the railroad tracks, and then double back to where the person was located. This all happened between about 5:20 and 5:40 yesterday afternoon. Personnel used ladders and ropes to reach the victim along the steep bank. The name of the victim, the extent of the injuries, and how the person ended up alongside the Columbia River in trouble, that situation there. Anyway, we don't know any of those details. We'll have more on this with the news tonight at 5 o'clock. Wenatchee police say 2 suspects are in custody following an attempted burglary at an occupied home. This happened a couple of nights ago. Detective Brian Chance says the 2 men were apprehended after police responded to the Holly Street home's security alarm.
There were 2 arrests made last night of 2 males that entered an occupied residence, and patrol officers were alerted by a residential alarm company that there had been an alarm at the residence, and officers responded and located one suspect in the immediate area of the residence and located a second suspect actually still inside the residence when officers arrived. And that suspect shortly thereafter exited the residence, and officers took him into custody as well.
The names of the 2 suspects not immediately available. There were no reports of any injuries. Well, a moose that had been wandering around East Wenatchee had its urban interlude come to an end yesterday morning near Costco, thanks to the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife. Stacy Lehman, a spokeswoman for the department, said it was a textbook takedown.
What happened was a female moose, about 2 years old, so fairly young and not very big, has been sighted the past couple days in East Wenatchee, kind of wandering around. This morning, and I believe it was approximately 6 a.m., she wandered into somebody's backyard, and she kind of just hung out. Like, she didn't walk around, she didn't do anything, she just kind of stood there. And the homeowners became concerned and called Fish and Wildlife. So the longest part of the whole operation, before we could do anything, is we needed to find a horse trailer to transport her somewhere else out of the area. So there was a little delay while we tracked down a volunteer with a horse trailer. And then our officers and then our conflict specialist also, who's Joe Bridges, moved in and did dart her, to knock her out for a little while, which is safe and everything. So they darted her, and she wandered around for about 5 minutes, which is when she approached the Costco. They managed to corral her into an area, though, that was safe for people and her. And once she went down, basically, and then they do it's standard procedure to check out her health, and she seemed fine. They tagged her and stuff like that, and then got her into the horse trailer and moved her up by Lake Wenatchee, where they released her, and they gave her the reversal. Well, first they give her the reversal drug and drag her out, and about 5 minutes, like she took 5 minutes to go down, pretty much took 5 minutes to pop back up, and just walked it off real nice. And so this was a really, really smooth operation. It took like less than 2 hours from start to finish to, get her out of there.
Another news, roads from Pybus Public Market in Wenatchee all the way to the Lake Wenatchee area are going to be filled with bike riders tomorrow. About 600 riders will be winding their way along the Wenatchee River, participating in the annual Apple Century Bike Ride, which is sponsored by Wenatchee's Sunrise Rotary. Now, there's not going to be any road closures. This is according to the Chelan County Public Works Department, so motorists are being asked to watch out for the riders. Participants in the 100-mile portion of the ride, they leave Pybus at 7 a.m. They ride all the way to the Lake Wenatchee Fire Station, where they will turn around and head back. Well, 2018 was another busy year for search and rescue operations at the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. In his annual activity report, Sheriff Brian Burnett says there were a total of 54 calls for service. He reports the vast majority of those involved successful rescues of injured or lost climbers, hikers, rafters, or off-road vehicle mishaps. Burnett says the costs related to search and rescue can be expensive depending on the amount of time it takes and the outside resources that are required.
Pull from the military and from other agencies around the state that have resources, usually air support as far as helicopters and winch capability that we don't have. We have a lot of technical climbing destinations.
A lot of calls for service up in Mount Stewart this year.
Yeah, up out of the Leavenworth and the the icicle drainage area is a big piece of that. And we get a lot of people drawn to the enchantments and some people are experienced and some people aren't. We hope that if they're not experienced, they're traveling with people that are and using the buddy system and just all of the things in place that can promote a better outcome. Because we always say plan for the worst and hope for the best. But part of that is as even those who are the the most experienced outdoors persons, when they put all of these things in place and have their equipment and their training reflect on that, accidents happen. So that's what we're talking about. It says, be prepared, have all these things in place. So if something does happen, you can fall back on your resources and all of these things to have a better outcome.
In 2018, the sheriff coordinated 5 separate missions to Mount Stewart alone. One involved fatality when a climber fell over 250 feet while traversing a snowfield. He also credited the volunteer Chelan County Mountain Rescue Team for its assistance in several search and rescue incidents. The Chelan County Sheriff's annual report, by the way, is available in print form and also available online at Chelan County's website. Well, speaking of local law enforcement agencies, they're going to have party patrols out in the coming weeks, looking to avoid a repeat of last year's tragic accidents involving Eastmont High School seniors. On the eve of graduation, one Eastmont senior was killed last year, another seriously injured in separate accidents. Several local and state agencies will be participating in what they're calling Everybody Walks. Captain Edgar Reinfeld with Wenatchee Police Department was on yesterday's edition of this very program to explain what exactly Everybody Walks means. It's that time of the year again. We all know what happened last year with those soon-to-be graduating group of seniors at Eastmont High School. They meant well. They went out and did what a lot of kids do this time of the year. They kind of released the pressure valve. They got through a critical part of their life. Things happened. Pretty serious accident. Richmond is all but completely healed now. But it was
amazing.
It was a very sobering lesson, and my guess is, and I shouldn't make assumptions, but that was kind of the impetus for what this is all about this year.
Absolutely. This is a driver in this concept, this Everybody Walks campaign. And Everybody Walks doesn't mean nobody rides in a car to go where they're going, don't be driving. It's literally that everybody walks at graduation. We saw last year, of course, we had a fatality and the critical injuries that were miraculously resolved so well in just a year. And we have a long history of this as well here locally.
Unfortunately, we do.
have a series of fatalities from one school or another around this time of year, and it's something that happens nationally as well. It's not unique to our area, but working with initially Eastmont and Wenatchee High Schools and Chelan County Sheriff's Office being a big driver in starting this concept of Everybody Walks, is now led to a collaboration between Wenatchee and East Wenatchee Police, Chelan and Douglas County Sheriff's Offices, Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board, Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, Washington State Patrol, and the United States Forest Service Police to work together to try to adjust and address this issue, this serious issue. It's not about ending fun, but it is a factor that illegal activity leads to these issues every year. Every year we have some issue or another that stems out of a large party. And as we've worked with the high schools in this, we've learned some things. The high schools find every year they're being told by parents, well, my kid told me this was school sponsored. Schools do not sponsor large bonfires in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of alcohol and go, hey, that's a great idea, guys, go blow off. That's not how it works. And so that's really the first element of this message. And this multimedia push with social media, with print media, with television here, with radio, we are covering every base we can to deliver the message that, number one, these are not school-sponsored events. Number two, we're going to be aggressively looking for and dealing with these issues. We have extra patrol crews set up. Every agency of those 7 listed is contributing staff. 8 agencies listed is contributing staff to work party patrols to deal with this. If we locate large underage drinking parties, we're going to address it with criminal action. We're going to take enforcement action for the crimes that are being committed. If we find a large gathering and everybody's obeying the law, great. Have a nice time, guys. We're out of here. But the alcohol, marijuana, other drugs are very prevalent in our schools today. And these sort of things end in tragedy, as we've already mentioned. So the goal, of course, is to educate, enforce if necessary, and absolutely prevent tragedy.
So what's going on this weekend? I usually don't know, but I count on Megan McPherson to fill me in on the details. Here is your weekend events.
Here's a look at what's on tap this weekend around the Wenatchee Valley. Cruise in Chelan is this Friday through Sunday. Enjoy live music, a beer garden, inflatables for kids, a barbecue dinner on Friday night, poker walk, and so much more. Register your classic car, truck, or motorcycle today. The Wenatchee Mini Maker Fair 2019 is this Saturday from 9 to 3 at the Town Toyota Center. This is a gathering of fascinating, curious people who enjoy learning and who love sharing what they can do. From engineers to artists to scientists to crafters, Maker Fair is a venue for these makers to show hobbies, experiments, and projects. It is called the greatest show and tell on earth, a family-friendly showcase of invention, creativity, and resourcefulness. St. Paul's Lutheran School's second annual Cornhole Tournament and Family Fun Day is this Saturday from 11 to 4 at the Wenatchee Valley College practice field. There will be children, adult, and mixed divisions with tournament trophies and prizes. There will also be community booths, face painting, a magician, games, children's activities, concessions, cornhole board raffle, and tons of fun. And finally, Stage Kids presents James and the Giant Peach Jr. happening today through Sunday at the Numerica Performing Arts Center. Featuring a wickedly tuneful score and a witty and charming book, this adventurous musical about courage and self-discovery is destined to be a classic. For more information on this weekend's events and others, visit the community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Thank you very much, Megan. One more item of business we wanted to get to before we take a break. The God's Closet is back again this weekend, and once again it's being held at the Adventist Church in East Wenatchee, 1201 10th Street, as a matter of fact, in East Wenatchee. It's this Sunday from 10 to 2. Lots of articles of children's clothing. There's baby gear. There's toys, anything related to kids. It's just $1 to get in, and then you shop for free. I kid you not. It's the annual God's Closet event. They do this 3-4 times a year. Again, it's at the Adventist Church in East Wenatchee on 10th Street. It's Sunday from 10 to 2 for just $1. You're into the gates, and you can pick up clothes from toddlers, newborns, all the way up to preteens, and it's all there. And outside of the $1 admission fee, it's all free. God's Closet this Sunday from 10 to 2. Don't forget the news comes your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. We'll wrap up the Friday that was in news in a nice little program we like to call the NCW Evening News, because you have to call it something. We'll have it for you right here on television, or as we like to say in the business, TV, at 5, 6, and 10. You can watch it on demand at our website at ncwlife.com, ncwlife.com. The news will be up for you to browse at your own convenience right around 5 o'clock in the evening. So you can check that out. We'll have all the latest local news headlines, plus weather, plus sports, with Eric Granstrom and our nightly feature story, The News, at 5, 6, and 10. And at the bottom of the screen are all the different ways you can get a hold of us. It's 23 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays, and everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. Plus, in the back half of the program, Jose Oglesby, the owner of the Wenatchee AppleSox. We're talking baseball. Coming up, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, my name is David Olson. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at Columbia Valley Community Health. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, we genuinely care about our patients. And we hope that you trust us to take care of you, to take care of your family. Thank you.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
We're back 25 minutes after the hour. Sports, the Mariners' miserable May continued last night. 9-3 was the final to the LA Angels. After starting the first 2 months of the season 18-13, the Mariners have gone 6-21 in the month of May. They've lost 9 of their last 10. Yesterday's game, also another case of the Mariners starting pitcher not even making 5 innings. Yusei Kikuchi gave up 6 runs, 10 hits in just 3 1/3 innings. gave up a couple of home runs. It's the third time in the last 6 games a Seattle pitcher didn't last 5 innings. Seattle manager Scott Service says, hey, when you don't have your A game, you got to find something else.
You say he's just had a hard time getting any rhythm going, early in ball games tonight. Really didn't have command. Something we hadn't seen from him before, just the walks and getting behind in the count like that. He's usually had a pretty good feel for locating the fastball and then getting a breaking ball, whether it was a slider or the curveball go along with it, and really didn't have it early in the ball game tonight. And I think that's one of the things you got to learn too. On the nights you don't have your A game, how do you survive? How do you keep your team in the game? And it was uncharacteristic of him tonight not to just keep us in the game and kind of grind through it. So got to learn from it. We'll sit down and talk more about it tomorrow. But I think physically he feels fine. It just was not a good night.
After falling behind 6-0 in the first 4 innings, the Mariners just couldn't muster any offense. Only had 4 hits on the whole night. Scott Service says, well, it's now a theme.
Again, we get down in those games. We got to find a way to kind of to fight and scratch and get back in them offensively. The Angels, we know them. We know how they're going to pitch and what they're going to go to. And tonight we probably, it's hard when you're down in the game early, but you got to find a way to kind of create some offense and get back in the game. We haven't done that in these games that we get down, 4 or 5 runs, and it just kind of gets away from us a little bit.
Seattle and L.A. play the second game of their 4-game series tonight. 7:10 first pitch. Tyler Skaggs will take on Mike Leake. Let's take a look at the Les Schwab American League West scoreboard from yesterday. Just one other game. George Soler hit a 3-run home run that put Kansas City up for good. They beat Texas 4-2, and there are your standings. Deja Mulapola's 2-run home run in the top of the 8th inning gave Arizona a 3-1 win over Washington in yesterday's first round of the Women's College World Series. The Wildcats scored first, solo home run, top of the 6th by Jesse Harper. Huskies fought right back in the bottom half of that same inning, solo home run by Sammy Reynolds. So Huskies are going to have to come back through the elimination bracket. They take on Minnesota tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the other game in bracket 1 yesterday. UCLA beat the Golden Gophers 7-2. Don't forget, of course, the Wenatchee AppleSox hosting their annual Fan Fest tomorrow night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. It gets underway at 5 o'clock, free admission, live team practice. That'll be followed by an autograph session. Chance to pick up your season tickets if you're a fan, or a souvenir or two. AppleSox open the 2019 season Monday against the Cascade Collegiate Showcase team, 6:35. First pitch is the first of 4 games to open the season at home. Victoria will follow with 3 games on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. By the way, throwing out the ceremonial first pitch prior to Tuesday's game, our very own Eric Granstrom. He's going to be joined, by the way, by Joel Norman, the voice of the AppleSox, in their radio booth during the middle innings. He's going to talk about Eric's days as the team's play-by-play announcer, those many years ago. What's on tap on the sports calendar for the weekend? Let's see you and I take a look. Everybody into the pool, and I mean everybody. The Apple Capital Swim Meet, hundreds of boys and girls of all ages at the Wenatchee City Pool, hosted by, of course, the local Velocity swim program. The Red Devil Challenge Trail Run Series starts tomorrow morning at 6:30 for the 50K run. A 25K starts at 7:30. The 10K starts at 8 o'clock. It's on the Red Devil Trail, which is south of Kashmir in the National Forest. Leavenworth will be the site of the 22nd Annual Evergreen Bavarian Bike and Brews Festival. It runs tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Speaking of cycling, of course, we mentioned this during the news. The 32nd Annual Apple Century Bike Ride tomorrow starts at 7:30 at the Pybus Public Market. 100-mile, 50-mile, and 25-mile ride. So lots of bikers, lots of bikes between Wenatchee and Lake Wenatchee. And the Wenatchee Racket Athletic Club is hosting their annual Junior Cusick Cup tennis tournament. That's tomorrow and Saturday. Break out the sunscreen. You're going to need it. That's just some of the games that people are playing on this Friday. And it's the last day of the month. It's the 31st day of May, and the obscure holiday of the day today is Save Your Hearing Day. What? I said Save Your Hearing Day. Hearing is vital. Hearing needs to be protected. As most people know, I'm a music fanatic. It's my thing. I love music, but I have a tendency to listen to music at loud volumes because that's just the way I like to do it. A lot of causes of hearing loss, of course, environmental concerns. It could be hereditary. If you're exposed to loud noises for a long period of time, of course, you can suffer from hearing loss. Most hearing loss is avoidable. It's as simple as that. So if you want to keep your hearing good, just be safe out there. I'm guilty of not doing that. The reason it's May 31st, because on May 31st, 1976, The Who got up to 120 decibels at a concert at the Charlton Athletic Grounds in England. 120 decibels. That's loud. Save Your Hearing Day. Always celebrated on May 31st, thanks to the legendary British rock band The Who, or as they say in Great Britain, The Who. It's 30 minutes after the hour. There's Big Ben. Celebrates their anniversary today, May 31st, 1859. Big Ben, the big clock tower at the Houses of Parliament in central London, began keeping time. You notice there's scaffolding around Big Ben because they're renovating the whole thing. That picture was taken a couple of years ago. Now the entire clock tower is covered in scaffolding, so it doesn't ring. Now, I think like a couple of times a year they still ring the bell. In the meantime, they're fixing it up. They're going to reglaze it and get it all going again so it can. So it's going to take a couple more years. So if you go to London to take a look at Big Ben, you're going to see it, but you won't see it. Happy 159th birthday to Big Ben. Johnstown flood happened 129 years ago in this state. 2,200 people lost their lives. The dam failed and a 60-foot wall of water carrying the same amount of water as the Mississippi River simply wiped out the town of Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Happened 129 years ago today. The most influential car of the 20th century went out of production on this date 92 years ago, May 31st, 1927. The very last Model T Ford rolled off the assembly line. They made 15,007,003 Model Ts, and it changed America forever. And finally, 42 years ago today, the thing that changed Alaska forever, the Trans-Alaska Pipeline System is finally completed, and they began pumping oil through the state of Alaska. The state of Alaska's budget essentially is that. The oil companies pay the state of Alaska. The state of Alaska owns the pipeline, and the oil companies pay the state to pump the oil through the pipeline to get it down to the Anchorage, Prudhoe Bay area so they can ship it out. So that's basically Alaska's economy, is that, but it works. Finally, at 32 minutes after the hour, birthdays, 3 of them. Walt Whitman was born 200 years ago today, my all-time favorite poet. Not a big fan of poetry, but Walt Whitman is good. He's really good. Walt Whitman, probably the greatest poet this country ever produced, was born in 1819, passed away at the age of 72 in 1892. The legend Walt Whitman. I'll get a couple of pages in before the day is over from Mr. Walt Whitman. This will make you, check this out. You ready for this? Clint Eastwood is 89 years old today. He's 89. Of course, the man with no name, A Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Paint Your Wagon, The Outlaw Josie Wales, one of my all-time favorites, Dirty Harry, Play Misty for Me, The Gauntlet, Pale Rider, Unforgiven, which of course he won the Academy Award for, $1 Million Baby, which he won an Academy Award for. How many kids, how many children does Clint Eastwood have? It's one of those things that Hollywood hasn't figured out. The only one who seems to know is Clint, and he ain't saying. Most experts say Clint Eastwood has fathered 9 children with 5 different women. That's about all the research we can do. Happy 89th birthday to Clint Eastwood. And Hall of Famer Joe Namath is 76 years old today. Broadway Joe Namath, always associated with the upset victory when the Jets beat the Colts in Super Bowl III in Miami Beach. He guaranteed it. Happy birthday, Broadway Joe. He's 76 years old today. Going to take a break. When we come back, everybody's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. Then my conversation with the owner of the Wenatchee AppleSox, Jose Oglesby. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Friday edition on the NCW Live channel.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with BlackRock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local BlackRock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at BlackRockAsphaltSealCoating.com.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Only one dealership in Wenatchee has Motor Trend's SUV of the Year and Truck of the Year. That's right, Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram has the all-new Jeep Wrangler and the all-new Ram 1500 pickup. Or get the best of both worlds in the new Jeep Gladiator. Visit Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram today for more information on these award winners and see why there's no reason to leave town to buy your next vehicle.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
When you have to get there on time and looking good, call Fast, Friendly, Reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Available 24/7, AC Checker Taxi has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee for your pre-booked call. Some conditions apply. Call 663-8294. AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Schedule your ride ASAP or book up to a year in advance online at acchecker.com. American Classic Checker Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, we're big in this country on self-defense and things like standing your ground. Well, although I do support our right to defend ourselves, I don't think this concept translates to retaliating against someone whenever somebody else insults or hurts you. Now, remember, you 75% of us Americans who call yourself Christians, now the big boss told us we're not supposed to resist an evil person. If somebody smacks you on one side of the face, let them smack you on the other. Now, basically, this means that just because somebody hurts you doesn't mean you have to descend to their level. And just because somebody treats you bad, it doesn't justify you doing the same. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Moving doesn't have to be back-breaking, stressful work. And I don't want you to make a move that way ever again.
Traditionally, you would rent a truck. You would load up your stuff. You would rent a storage unit. You would transport it. And finally, you would unload your stuff yourself. You don't have to lift a finger. We bring the mobile storage unit to you. We drop it off. Then one of our trusted packers can load it for you. We come pick it up and store it securely for you. We bring it back to you. No hassle, no stress.
I'm working today.
I've got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
At Doghouse Motorsports, we ride what we sell. There's a lot we could say about the CD Spark and the CD GTI, but ultimately, the ride says it all.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. My favorite sentence in the English language is this: opening day of the baseball season. And here we get two of them. We get the Major League Baseball opening day, which of course came and went a couple of months ago, and then opening day of the AppleSox baseball season is just a couple of days away. It's coming up on Monday. Big Fan Fest coming up on Saturday, June 1st. You get to meet the players and get into the baseball mood. To talk all about AppleSox baseball is the owner of the Wenatchee AppleSox, my friend Jose Oglesby. Welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks, Dan. Thanks. Hey.
Let's start out with the big exciting news right off the top. We did the press release earlier today. Joel Norman, your communications guy, in conjunction with Eric Granstrom, our program and sports director. And you want to do the honors, Jose?
Well, this summer, for the first time, we're going to be having some games broadcast on NCAA Live.
Yes.
NCAA Live. I mean, it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to that. It should be a great opportunity for all of us. I think people are going to be excited to have that. And I want to, if you want to be on TV, come out to the ballpark.
Yeah, you never know.
You'll get on camera.
We're going to have 4 cameras set up. It's a big production. We've already done all of our legwork, our logistics. You guys, you and Joel, have been fantastic to work with. And on behalf of the NCAA Live channel, I'm excited. I'm pumped.
It should be great. We decided to do this just because we want to get before more people, more eyeballs, right? That's the name of the game, and we want to make it accessible to families and to everybody. So
it's funny you mentioned families, because I was going to mention this early on. We'll do it right now. Billet families is always something that is addressed this time of the year, because they got 40 guys coming into town, and they need places to rest their head at the end of a long baseball day. How are we doing on billet families? I know you always need more.
We're doing well.
Okay.
We the players are going to arrive like in waves, because usually we get people at the beginning of the season and then they leave and some other kids come in. And I think we're okay for the first wave. We are, it never hurts to have extra people.
No, that's true.
So even, because you never know what can happen. So, and also it's not only the players that sometimes need families, sometimes our coaches do as well.
Billet families are great. I've known any number of people who have done the billet family thing. In fact, I think Marcy Skelton, my good friend, classmate of mine, is still your coordinator on that. So if you're interested,
she is awesome.
Isn't she great?
She is fantastic. We couldn't do this without her, and without the families, it would be impossible to put on this event for people. And no, I'm definitely glad that Marcy has taken on that role and has done it now for a number of years.
So what do you need to do to be a billet family, Jose? What are the minimum requirements to host a baseball player?
Well, I think we don't really have any strict requirements. The main thing is each player gets his own bed, and preferably his own room as well. Each player gets a room and a bed. And then from then on, it's just whatever rules the families have. Pretend you're having somebody visiting in your house, and they're coming to stay with you, whether they are your kids' college friends or what have you. And you have some rules that you want to have, and so you set them up. You discuss them with Marcy, with the coach, with the player, and away you go. It's particularly good if you have some other young people around. I think that makes for a nice.
Yeah, if you have young kids who are into baseball, 6, 7, 8-year-olds who love the game, this is a great.
Yeah, it's a nice way to get somebody to teach them the finer points of the game, and to just someone to root for and to come to the game. And we give a couple of premium seats, or alternatively GA seating to the families.
So you get tickets to every game. You got to like that.
Absolutely.
You got to like that. And a lot of these guys make lifelong friends. A lot of these people have been exchanging Christmas cards with their billet families for 15, 20 years.
The one story that I was reading about that Joel posted yesterday has to do with, sometimes they go to the wedding of the players, which is pretty amazing. And of course, when Marco was here in February, his family came out to see him. It was great.
Yeah, Marco Gonzalez is now, of course, the ace of the Mariner staff. And it should be pointed out that when Coach Kyle Kressnagel, does the recruiting and brings the players in, character counts.
Absolutely.
He understands the importance of these kids representing the Wenatchee AppleSox, not just on the diamond between the bases, but also in the community.
Well, we're a community-based team. We embrace this community. The community embraces us. We would not want to do anything that would detract from that.
Yeah.
I should mention, though, talking about the Mariners, you do know that now 40% of the Mariners starting rotation is former Wenatchee AppleSox.
Former AppleSox, yeah. Go figure. I love it. And this is something now.
We're taking over.
It's funny you bring that up because you just may have a future major leaguer living at your house this summer.
Exactly.
It could absolutely happen. A couple other notes. The kids aren't there all the time. When they're at home for homestands, they're spending the vast majority of time at Paul Thomas Senior Field. And then, of course, they're on the road as well a great deal of the time.
Correct.
So it's a 2-month commitment, depending on how deep into the playoffs they go. But they're not going to be just hanging around all the time at your house. They're here to fine tune their own games.
Exactly, and that's what we're about. We're about developing them and helping them become better ball players. So
let's talk about Saturday night. The weather's going to be perfect, and if you're not in the baseball mood yet, head to Paul Thomas Senior Field because you're throwing a little party, aren't you, Jose?
We are. It's a fun time to get to meet everybody, get to meet the fans, get to meet the players, the coaches. Coyote, we'll all be there, and it's like a little open house, and we just want to relax, have a good time, check out the new things at the ballpark, and hopefully it'll be a lot of fun.
You've made some improvements to the ballpark. Well, Wenatchee Valley College has made some improvements to the ballpark as well. It's a great place to spend some time. So what does FanFest entail? It's just you get to watch a practice, you get to eat, talk to the players, talk to the coaches.
I think
what's in it for the fans?
I think mostly is one of those meet and greet kind of things, and sort of look at the stadium and see what we've done. Look at the new. We've added new merchandise in the store and things like that.
And you've embraced being from a technological background. Of course, Jose spent many years at Microsoft. You've embraced technology in baseball fully. I mean, you got some cool stuff.
The league has made a determination that we are going to be on the leading edge of technological innovations. I don't know if we'll get as far as having robot umpires yet, but we're doing other things. We're in this year we're installing TrackMan, which is similar to StatCast for major leagues. It tells you what the trajectory and spin and rotation of pitches and batted balls is. So
and you'll see that when you're at Paul Thomas Senior Field, you'll go, what is that thing attached to the press box? And that's what that is.
Exactly. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
We're also doing this year, we're doing Micro Fantasy, which is kind of a fun little prediction game that you can play on your cell phone. We are going to be doing, let me see, what I'm missing on something that we're going to be doing.
I'm sure it's television, but whatever it is, it's cool. I'm sure it's cool.
Yeah, no, I remember what it is. We are going to continue to be doing, very nice live streaming. Besides the 4 games that we have with you on those 4 Saturdays in June and July, we'll have live stream of baseball broadcasts every night.
You can watch the AppleSox
on Facebook Live.
It's Facebook Live, sitting at home.
Yeah, just go. There'll be a link right from our homepage.
Right, but go to the ballpark. Who's kidding who? That's what it's all about. It's so much fun.
Well, the link actually works mostly for the families of the players who are out of state and want to be able to see their kid. My friends in the East Coast are also, we're going to come out later in the summer. They can sort of take a sneak preview. And it's just fun to have it available. Also, it helps, I think, to get the league visibility outside our region. So it's not just about the local. Facebook Live is, of course, worldwide.
It's great for the players, too. They can call up a prospective coach or a college or something and say, hey, I'm pitching tonight.
That's right.
You can check me out by going to the AppleSox
That's right.
Site and take a look at me. They can toot their own horn a little bit. Speaking of players, The 40-man roster is out, and people go, 40? That's a lot. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But first of all, Jose, address how the roster is built. How does Kyle go about getting the players to come up here?
Kyle has, connections with coaches throughout the country and people that he's dealt with in the past. And the coaching fraternity is a small community, right? They all seem to know each other. I went to the coaches convention in the winter in Portland, and it was amazing. It's like a reunion of sorts. It's like everyone knows everyone else, or at least they know someone who knows somebody. And so to those connections, he's gets players that get assigned to us. We make a deal with the coach that's sending the player, and we say, okay, this is what we're going to be doing. And so Kyle knows what he's looking for. This year, I know that he wanted to emphasize getting a little older, having more upperclassmen on the team and things like that. So I don't know yet. I didn't ask him if we were going to be a running team or a power team.
Everybody seems to want to hit the ball over the home run. Hit the ball. What's the old line? Chicks dig the long ball.
Chicks
I guess
dig
is it?
the long ball. I know, but on the other hand, our park is a pitcher's park.
Yeah, it is. The dimensions are deep.
I know.
Dimensions are deep, and there's quite a bit of foul territory. Why 40? People go, that's way too many ball players. But there's a reason why you have 40 people on the roster.
Yes, what happens is some players because it's collegiate ball, some players cannot arrive on time, so we need some replacements in the meantime. Some players need to leave early, so we need some replacements at the end. And in between, there's injuries. There's players who are participating in the playoffs now, the NCAAs, and so we just the roster is in constant flux, in constant change.
Well, let me ask you this. It's kind of funny. You might not even know the answer, Jose, and if you don't, I apologize for asking it. How are the numbers doled out? Because you know how baseball players are. They're like, I'd love to come up and play Coach Krusnagel, but I want to wear number 4. That kind of stuff. How does
I hear you. No, it's not quite. We do not have the ability to manufacture uniforms, with the random numbers. Basically is, okay, here's one that fits you.
And that's usually good enough.
You're out there. We'll honor requests, I guess, if we can. But it's gonna be hard to say, okay, I've been playing with these numbers in Little League.
Yeah. Well, last time Joel was on this program, he brought some of the commemorative uniforms because it is the 20th anniversary of the Wenatchee AppleSox, and they're really cool. It's the perfect combination of traditional with a new look, I think, anyway.
Yes. So I'm really excited also about a couple of the events that we're going to be having this summer. First, there's 2 bobblehead nights, right? With Marco Gonzalez being one of them and Coyote being the other one, and that's to be some great times. So check out the schedule for when those are. And then we're also going to have an exhibition game against the United States military all-star team.
And that's looking forward to that too.
That should be great. Yeah, I'm really looking forward as well.
Joe, I want to talk to you. Can we just hang around? Can we make this a 2-hour show and just keep talking to Jose? Don't forget, of course, now FanFest is Saturday night, June 1st, 5:30. Is that right? Is that when things start?
I believe so. Yes.
You're going to have food and all that good stuff.
We'll have food available. We'll have drinks available.
Good. I like that hat. Where do I get me one of those?
Well, we are going to have hats similar to this one out at our souvenir stand. Maybe not right away. I think we're going to tweak this one a little bit
Just
more.
a little bit? Okay.
But we'll have it eventually.
And it's a great chance for you potential billet families to check it out and come down and maybe get to know a player or two.
Yep. And one more thing.
Go ahead, Jose. It's all yours, buddy.
Nice opportunity for more sponsors. We can always use more sponsors.
Yeah. Well, how does one go about doing that? Just give you a call?
Just give us a call. AppleSox.com. Just check out our website. Call Ken, call myself, call Joel, call Ali.
Yeah.
And we'll be there to take the phone call. We have lots of different opportunities still. Inning promotions, micro fantasies still available, a couple of slots there. So I'm working on that.
We can't wait for baseball. We're really excited to be able to do 4 games this year. And if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing it at all because you this is a good marriage. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it should be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to seeing the production value. That's going to be great.
We're going to have so much fun, Jose. I can't
Yeah,
wait.
I'm going to push to have one of those games be the game of the week.
There you go.
For the league has this game of the week broadcast, and
Sure.
I want definitely one of those to be one.
Well, heads up to all the other teams in the West Coast League. We're going to up the production value for televised baseball, so you have been warned. While I'm talking about it, when the owners of the West Coast teams get together, you guys have a good time? You all any rivalries?
No, just good-natured ribbon.
FanFest is Saturday night at Paul Thomas Senior Field. How much does it cost to get in, Jose?
FanFest?
Yeah.
I do not know the answer to that.
Okay.
Can you believe it? I do not know
cool.
the answer to that.
Show up.
Show up, please.
Yeah, that's what we asked.
It will not be expensive.
And opening night is Monday, June 3rd. And then it's down the road we go. We're playing baseball again for the 20th year.
Let's bring a championship home.
I'm all for it. Jose Oglesby is the owner of the Wenatchee AppleSox. Again, if you want to be a sponsor, just give Jose a call. Call the AppleSox office. Go Sox!
Thank you.
Jose, don't go anywhere. I want to talk to you off camera about something very important, how much I'm getting paid. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back. Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Wowee! Collins Fashion says all your needs for summer events. Cool tanks and tees, Bermudas, skirts, capris, ankle pants, embellished jeans, pretty sundresses. And ladies, we have amazing special occasion dresses for your weddings and cruises. All washable in many flattering styles and colors. Collins has over 100 different styles of sandals and shoes for your lifestyle. Tommy Bahama for men and women is in stock and we can special order just for you. Come in soon to your Brighton headquarters where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
If you're stuck trying to find the perfect beer for you, look no further than Badger Mountain Brewing. We specialize in creating tantalizing craft beers that will soothe any picky taste buds and will satisfy your cravings. Check out everything from our amazing honey blonde that will appease even the most finicky taster, or a delicious frothy stout for dark beer lovers. Experience them all at Badger Mountain Brewing.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Hi. Is it Friday or Monday? Pretty sure it's Friday. Boy, what a view up there from Nanapoc Ridge in the Lake Wenatchee area. Gorgeous day up there. About a minute left of this program. Let's wrap it up where we began. The weather forecast from the National Weather Service. And there you go. Sunny and warm. Sunny and warm. Hot. And we're going to call it hot. I think once you get to the 90s, it's a safe bet to say hot. There's a weak high pressure ridge. It's going to build over central Washington and then it's going to flatten out. And that means a more stable atmosphere, and that means very little chance at all of a late afternoon, early evening thunderstorm. It's just going to be sunny and warm, a perfect weekend for all kinds of outdoor activities, and there's going to be a lot of them. Temperatures are going to remain pretty hot right through the weekend. We're going to be actually, the Wenatchee Valley, probably the warmest spot in the state for the next 3 days. As you see there, 91, 91, 92, and then we cool down a little bit on Monday. A dry cold front will begin to move that high-pressure dome out of the way. We'll cool down to more normal temperatures by the middle of next week. My guest on Monday, Alex Haley from the Numerica Performing Arts Center. You look forward to that. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.